تلویزیون امید ایران، پل ارتباطی با شما و صاحبان مشاغل و کالا. 818 708 3999.
با درود خدمت یکایک شما هموطنان عزیز در سراسر جهان. امیدوارم در هر کجا که هستید خوب و خوش و سلامت و پاینده و برقرار باشید. در برنامه The Bridge of Victory، پل پیروزی هستیم و همطور که میدانید این برنامه پلی است برای نزدیک شدن جامعه ایرانی به شخصیت‌های مهم اجتماعی، فرهنگی و حتی سیاسی در آمریکا. و همطور که شاهد بودید در طول این 7 سال و اندی ما در این برنامه سعی کردیم که این برنامه رو طوری ترتیب بدیم که بتونه به واقع پل ارتباطی باشه و تا به امروز این چنین بوده که بسیاری از شخصیت‌های خارجی یا بهتر بگم آمریکایی توانستن با جامعه ایرانی ارتباط نزدیکتری داشته باشن، به طوری که در بسیاری از انتخابات می‌بینیم که خود کاندیداها زنگ میزنن و تماس میگیرن و میخوان که در این برنامه شرکت کنن. برنامه پل پیروزی توسط بنده و آقای مهندس جهانگیر اردلان، دوست و همکار عزیز بنده، تهیه و اجرا میشه و همطور که میدانید این برنامه هیچ وقت درش جنبه مالی وجود نداشته، بلکه فقط در جهت خدمت به مردم بوده و امیدوارم که تا به امروز که این چنین ما با شما قول و قرار داشتیم تونسته باشیم رضایت شما رو فراهم کرده باشیم. و اما در برنامه امروز مهمانان عزیزی داریم که بعد نیست که بدانید که در برنامه امروز خانم دکتر ندا هومن که در امر ایمیگریشن یکی از دکترهای بسیار معروفی هستند که میتونن در این راستا صحبت‌های بسیاری داشته باشن و همچنین گفتگوی داریم با آقای گرگ راتس و آقای گرگ راتس کاندیدا هستن برای کانگرس US کانگرس در بخش 45م که بخش بسیاری از اورنج کانتی رو میپوشونه و خوشحالم که امروز در این راستا با شما برنامه داشته باشیم. آقای مهندس اردلان،
خواهش میکنم. من هم عرض سلامی دارم خدمت شما بینندگان محترم شبکه جهانی تلویزیون امید ایران. امیدوارم که هر کجا هستید خوب و خوش و سلامت باشید و دنیا به کامتون باشه. بله، همینجوری که آقای نادر رفیعی فرمودن واقعا خوشحالیم که این برنامه پل پیروزی به این صورت گرفته که واقعا تلفن‌هایی میگیریم از جاهای مختلف و به خصوص موقع انتخابات که میشه، به خصوص پرایمری که 3 مارچ خواهد بود، این فرصت رو به ما میده که واقعا معرف افرادی موفقی باشیم که در جامعه آمریکایی تونستن حرف اول رو بزنن و بتونیم اینا رو معرفی بکنیم به شما دوستانی که در اون منطقه هستید که بتونید واقعا ارتباط نزدیکتری پیدا بکنیم با آمریکاییایی که منتخب میشد، به خصوص در کنگره آمریکا که میتونیم واقعا باشون رابطه نزدیکتری داشته باشیم ما ایرانی‌ها. به هر حال خوشحالیم که دعوت ما رو جناب آقای گریگ راتس و خانم نینا هومن بسیار خوش آمدید. Welcome to our program.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you.
Yes, sir.
خیلی ممنون از شما. با شما باید انگلیسی صحبت کنیم که پاتی نشه خود مردم. Very welcome here. As you know, Dr. Hooman is one of the very famous attorney in immigration, and so we had an interview before with Dr. Hooman and regarding the new changes of law in immigration system. But today we're going to talk about in the future the U.S. Congress in District 45th, which is very important for Iranian community because it's the many city of Orange County is covering and including for 55th district. Am I correct?
45th, yeah.
Yeah, 45th. Therefore, I'm sure this is going to be very important interview for number of Iranians which they live in OC.
Yes.
First of all, we'd like to introduce yourself for Iranian community because we want our viewers to get know you much better than before.
Okay.
And I'm sure by end of this program, you shouldn't be worried because they're going to give you vote for sure.
That's a good thing. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I live in Mission Viejo, the southernmost city in the 45th Congressional District. I sit on the city council. I was the mayor last year of Mission Viejo. But Irvine is the largest city in the 45th Congressional District, and it's a very important city. A lot of Persians live in that area, a lot of Iranians. But give me a little background on myself. I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. My father was a World War II bomber pilot over in Europe, and he raised a large family. After the war, they moved to Phoenix. I have 7 brothers and sisters.
Oh, much.
And
like us.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Catholics.
But I have 6 sisters, only me.
Is that right?
You have brother and
I have
sister.
4 brothers, 3 sisters.
Okay, that's
3
fine.
sisters.
It's
yeah.
much better.
Right.
There is no fight in the family.
Right. And I grew up in Phoenix, and I joined the military when I was going through college. I went to Arizona State University, got a degree in business. And when I was in 1972, I joined the Marine Corps officer program to be a Marine fighter pilot. And my first duty station was Pensacola, Florida in 1976. And I went through training there with the Iranian pilots. They were training at the same time we were training. And when they were getting ready to fly the new F-14 Tomcat, I flew the F-4 Phantom. And I just love flying jets. And my first duty station after Pensacola was El Toro, California, which is in Irvine. And I started flying F-4 Phantoms, and I flew off the aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln and the aircraft carrier Midway, the Kitty Hawk, the Ranger, and the Coral Sea. So I did a lot of my flying off of the carriers. I rose to the rank of colonel after 30 years of active duty military service, and I had 3 combat tours. I was in Operation Desert Storm. In 1990, I flew out of Bahrain. There's a big base in Bahrain. We flew our missions into Kuwait and in Iraq. And then in 1993, as a squadron commander, I came back to the Persian Gulf on the Abraham Lincoln, and we came through the Straits of Hormuz. And Saddam Hussein was giving us more trouble, and we provided close air support for our Army brothers. And in Somalia at the time, Black Hawk Down was shot down. 2 Black Hawks, you probably remember Black Hawk Down. And we provided close air support for our Army brothers, so that was 93. But the highlight of my career, I spent 3 years at the White House. I worked, I was a military, chief of staff of the military office for then President Clinton. My job was to manage all the military support of the President of the United States, Air Force One Squadron, his helicopters. Camp David was run by the Navy. All his medical team were military, so I oversaw the whole military operation for the President, Vice President, cabinet members, and senior members of Congress. So that was 96 to 99, and then my last tour before I retired in 2004 was a wing commander. I oversaw 10,000 Marines and sailors and equipment throughout the country, and the Iraq War was going on, Iraqi freedom, and Afghanistan, so several of my units went to both of those countries to serve. So after 30 years of faithful service, I retired, and then I went to work for JetBlue Airways to be a commercial airline pilot, and I flew with this captain who was Mehran. We called him Mehran from Tehran. He was actually one of the pilots for the Shah before the Shah fell, and then he came back to the United States, and he was the captain for JetBlue. He just retired, and I left JetBlue after about 4 years, and I went to work as president of a company in Anaheim. We sold that company, then I went into politics. I first ran, that's a picture of my beautiful family, if that's up on the screen now.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids and 6 grandkids. I have twin daughters. They're both teachers in Irvine, 4th grade and 5th grade. And my son's a Marine himself. He's a flyer, F-18 guy, and he's a major in the Marine Corps, and his wife's the lady, the blonde, holding the beautiful baby. And so it's just a wonderful family. But I went into politics in 2014. There I am flying the CF-18 Hornet. And I went into politics. I ran for U.S. Congress in 2014. I came in 3rd, so I didn't make the cut. You have to come in the top 2 in the primary. So then I went into local government. I went into city council in Mission Viejo. I was the mayor last year. I got reelected in 2018. The 45th Congressional District has always been Republican. It's been a very conservative district. Last year, a Democrat won, first time ever, and our Congresswoman Mimi Walters lost. So I never thought she would lose, and I never thought I would run again for U.S. Congress, but she did lose, so I'm running to take that seat back.
That's good. You mentioned something when we were talking before we go on air. You're talking about in 1979. This is very important point. Ladies and gentlemen, in 1978, 1 year before the revolution in Iran had F-14 fighter aircraft.
Yeah, the Tomcats.
Don't forget, 1978, during Iran had this fighter, F-14, U.S. government could not release the F-14 aircraft for this country. And this is very important point, how Iranian government in that time and the Shah was working to prove and to bring the Air Force to up among all the countries, I mean in the neighbors and in the Middle East country. Okay.
Well, then President Carter was the one who sold the Shah the new F-14s.
How many of those?
I'm not sure the exact number, but
that's very
we were still flying the F-4s, and we have not upgraded yet, but the president wanted to let the Shah know you can have these brand new airplanes. He bought them, obviously. Yeah. But like we'll talk later, I'm on the aircraft carrier Midway in 1979.
Okay. It's for me. Okay. Dr. Hooman, as you know, we already had interview many times with Dr. Hooman regarding the immigration law. So I want to explain for our viewers, since last time we had the interview, what things has been changed in immigration.
Okay, yes, thank you so much for your question. Also, we would like to ask the mayor as well about his views on immigration. But in the meantime, as far as the Iranian travel ban is concerned, I am seeing that based on some subsections of the law, we are seeing Iranians actually get their visas approved. So the best thing, which Mayor also believes in, he believes in legal immigration. You know, anybody that applies for a visa legally and righteously, they will be able to get it, and my clients have been able to successfully receive them.
Good news.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I know the Trump administration wants to work with the government of Iran, and you know, a couple of months ago was kind of dicey. Was going back and forth with the assassination or the killing of the general. But I think things have calmed down now, and I know he's working this administration to get more visas so this travel ban can slowly unwind, and hopefully we can get relations back with Iran, because it's such a beautiful country. It's just absolutely beautiful, and the people are amazing. And a lot of my friends in Mission Viejo are Iranian descent, and they're just great people. So.
President likes the Iranian people.
Yes.
He has said in his messages several times that he wants to help the Iranian people. He even said last week that maybe they're too afraid to ask, but the help is there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg, my question from you, how you got into politics?
Well, when I was a colonel, I worked at the White House. So I got a feel of Washington. I understood the executive branch with then President Clinton. I understood Congress. We worked with Congress on military bills that came to the White House for signature. And it got me, I would spend time over at the Capitol Hill with the congressman. I kind of enjoyed it. I kind of liked it. But it goes all the way back to high school. I ran for class president when I was in high school.
Nice.
And I wasn't supposed to win, but I won. And that's kind of where it started. So I always had a desire to serve. I served in the Boy Scouts. I was an Eagle Scout. I served 30 years in the military. And then in 2012, when President Obama got reelected, and I wasn't a big fan of the president. I respected him, but I wasn't a big fan of President Obama. And our current congressman, John Campbell, was retiring. And he was a Republican, I'm a Republican, so I thought I would then run for that seat. We did very, very well, but we just missed coming in second. We had to be first two to move to the general election.
On the primary.
And so I had a feel, I didn't win that, so I went into local politics, city politics, and that's really good, because there's just 5 of you on council. And then the mayor, we rotate the mayors, and
every year. Am I right?
Yeah, every year we rotate the mayor, and that was my year last year, and I ran a tight ship. We had a $7 million budget surplus, which is unheard of.
That's great.
Not only did we just bring in $4 million more in revenue, but we spent $3 million less than our budget. And who does that in government?
Exactly.
So I want to bring a lot of that.
That was my question. The next question from you, basically, what have you accomplished?
Well,
as a mayor for the Irvine and
for Mission Viejo.
For Mission Viejo.
No, we had last year as mayor, and the year before as a mayor pro tem assistant mayor, we had like $8 million surplus. So we're able to use that money. We had about $30 million in reserve. Say the economy goes south. Then we could prop it up with reserve money. But there's a golf course in Mission Viejo that was being sold. American Golf was selling it, and it was $13 million. And this developer wanted to come in and develop and get rid of the golf course and just develop condos. Well, the people of Mission Viejo didn't want that. And so since we had the money, I just wrote a check for $13 million. We bought the golf course. And so now it's a city golf course, and we're making about $40,000 a month profit. So we're turning that money back into the course to get it upgraded. We want to upgrade the whole clubhouse and make it really nice for weddings. We have a big aquatic center in Mission Viejo. The Natadors is a swim and dive team, and it's the only, I think it's 15-meter dive platform south of UCLA. So we have big tournaments there, and we upgraded that for $10 million. We had the money for that, and we're just making it a beautiful city. Unemployment's like 2% in the city. I love the Chamber of Commerce. Businesses flourishing. We have a mall. It's called the Shops at Mission Viejo. There was a mall in Laguna Hills that it went under. So it helped ours go way up. And there's this beautiful woman named Mona Nico. Her last name's longer than Nico, but I call her Mona Nico. She has an art gallery there, and you were just there,
yes,
right?
I was there too.
You were there too, yeah. And it's a beautiful art. She went to art school in Tehran. She immigrated here probably 20 years ago, and I got to know her really well, and we're really pushing her art. And if I have a fundraiser, for my campaign, she'll bring some of her art, and if she sells it, she takes half, I take half. You know. So,
what was the position of Minagar? He was one of your co-workers.
Who was that?
Fred
Minagar.
Yes.
Fred was the mayor of Laguna Niguel, which is a city right next to me.
Okay.
And they rotate too, so he's not the mayor either now, but he's a councilman in.
But it's going to be rotated.
So yeah, he rotates back.
Again,
yes, he's supporting me for U.S. Congress. Yes. And the whole Iranian community in Mission Viejo, Irvine, I'm working with them. They're supporting me. We had a big fundraiser at the Caspian restaurant in Tustin. Yes. The owner, he threw a big party for me. So
how many candidates are running for this position?
There's 7.
Okay.
And the top 2, March 3rd is the primary election.
Okay.
Ballots are actually been delivered to households right now.
How many Republicans, how many Democrats?
There's 6 Republicans and 1 Democrat. Oh, the Democrat is the Congresswoman now, Katie Porter.
Okay.
So obviously
you're in the Republican Party.
I'm on the Republican Party.
Yes.
So after, she'll probably get the most votes because she's the only Democrat. So the 6 of us are now want to be number 2. And I hope that's me.
Okay.
So 1 and 2 will then go to the November general election.
Yes. Would you explain to our viewers District 45th, including what city of Orange County, which is very important for people that are watching us.
Let's see the map first.
Yeah, if you see the map, you can explain exactly.
I don't know if they have a map up or not.
Do we have?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
So I'll tell you the cities. There's 10 cities. We have Irvine, which is the largest city.
Maybe we can find by Google.
45th Congressional District.
Or just Orange County map, so we can
get 45th.
You can Google California's 45th Congressional District and put it up. So on the screen's my website. It's on my website, actually. If you want to go to my website, gregraths.com. And you can on the front page.
That's fine too, because we don't have that time. That much time. So would you?
So Irvine's a large city. Mission Viejo, Tustin, Rancho Santa Margarita, Lake Forest, Laguna Hills, Laguna Woods, Villa Park, North Tustin, and Coto de Caza, and parts of Anaheim Hills.
That's all south of.
So Mission Viejo north, it goes up to the 57 freeway.
You know that the majority of population in those cities that you mentioned are Iranian.
I know.
Did you know that?
That's why I'm sitting right here tonight.
No, therefore the Iranian community can be very important role in this action.
They can elect me.
Yeah. So
and then I will represent them. They'll know their representative.
But as you know, Iranians do not accept very fast. You know, so they have to think about it. They can, so they have to trust. Because our people, they already made a big mistake since 1979, and do not want to make a mistake again.
Well, so the pilot Mayron.
That's a joke.
I know. But the pilot Mayron, who I used to fly with, he goes, "You guys invaded the wrong country. You should, instead of Iraq, you should have invaded Iran and then freed them because there's no factions in there. They're all Persian."
Let me explain in Farsi.
Okay.
Because maybe some of our viewers they don't speak English, or maybe they cannot understand what we are talking about. بینندگان عزیز، آقای گریگ رتز دارن برای یو اس کانگرس دیستریکت 45 که همونطوری که گفتن شهرهای مثل ایرواین، تاستین، لیک فورست and what else?
Villa Park, Laguna Woods, Laguna Hills, and Coto de Caza, Mission Viejo.
ببینید بسیاری از شما، چون من بچه اورنج کانتی هم هستم به قول معروف، سالها در اونجا زندگی کردم و الان هم به اقتضای دوستی و رفت آمدهایی که داریم بیشتر ویکندها من در اورنج کانتی هستم و میبینم که چقدر جامعه ایرانی در اونجا پیشرفت کرده و چقدر جمعیت ایرانی الان در اوسی فعال هستش. در نتیجه ببینید بهترین موقعیته که ما بتونیم حضور خودمون رو به آمریکایی‌ها نشون بدیم و اگر آقای گریگ رت انتخاب بشه قطعا مشخص خواهد بود که جامعه ایرانی بهشون رأی داده، برای که این شهرهایی که ایشون گفتن 80% ایرانی‌ها دارن زندگی میکنن که ما ایرانی هستیم. در نتیجه اگر شما رأی بدی باور کنید مهمترین فعالیت سیاسی آمریکایی خواهد بود که شما در طول تاریخ 40 سال گذشته انجام دادید. یعنی حضور شما برای رأی دادن کاملا مشخص خواهد شد. این خیلی مسئله مهمیه بینندگان عزیز، خواهش میکنم این رو با دقت گوش کنید. اگر ما بتونیم آقای رتس رو انتخاب بکنیم، به این دلیل که بیشتر این شهرها از اقلیت ایرانی هستش، میتونه بزرگترین افتخاری برای ما باشه که ما خودمون رو نشون میدیم در جامعه آمریکایی، در سیاست و انتخابات آمریکایی‌ها در مقام‌های مختلف، که ما ایرانی‌ها چقدر میتونیم قدرت داشته باشیم. این مسئله خیلی مهمه.
همینجوری که آقای رفیعی فرمودن، واقعا یکی از مسائلی که میتونه واقعا ارتباط ما ایرانی‌ها با کنگره آمریکا، یعنی اگه ما بتونیم با مستر گریگ راتس ارتباطمون رو به صورتی که بهش نشون بدیم ما ایرانی‌ها داریم رای میدیم و این چانس رو داشته باشیم که با اینا نزدیک بشیم، چه بسا این پوزیشن هایی که احتیاج هست که ایرانی‌های موفق ما در اونجا در اورنج کانتی بتونن این فرصت ها رو داشته باشن که هم از نزدیک ارتباط داشته باشن با کنگره آمریکا، مسائل شخصیشون و مسائل اجتماعیشون رو بتونن صحبت بکنن با کانگرسمنشون، بتونن ارتباط ایجاد بکنن و این خیلی 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 مهم هستش برای ما ایرانی‌ها. بیکار نشینیم، یه رأی دادن به ما واقعا باور بکنین نمیرین برای جوری دوتی، اونایی که رأی نمیدن میرن برای جوری دوتی. اینو تو مغز ما کردن که ما ایرانی‌ها رأی میدیم میریم برای جوری دوتی. خواهش میکنم الان ببینید وقتی که یک شهردار به ما تلفن میزنه و میخواد بیاد تو برنامه ما، یعنی ما ایرانی‌ها داریم حرف اولو میزنیم تو منطقه اورنج کانتی. باید ما اشتراک داشته باشیم، باید نشون بدیم که رأی ماها چقدر مهم هستش برای فردا. خود ماها میتونیم منتخب باشیم. فردا الان ما شهردار داریم در اون منطقه، ما ایشون که داره به هر حال با پورتفولیوی قشنگی که داره برای گاورمنت کار کرده، واقعا پتانسیل درستی داره، بتونیم این ارتباطات خودمون رو با اینها نزدیک و نزدیکتر بکنیم.
Yes, I'm also going to say it in English that Iranians have a large number of percentage in Orange County and in Los Angeles, in Southern California, and if we vote for Mayor Greg Raths, we will do a very, very rewarding, achieving job for everybody. We believe that he is very, he's selected based on his good prior work. It will be very rewarding for all of us. He has a very good background, his curriculum vitae, his achievements. He has done a lot military wise, publicly. He has done a lot of achievements, and if we vote for him, we will definitely be receiving a lot of reward for ourselves in our community, and we can grow as a whole, as a community. Mayor Raths, we're very happy to have you.
That's good.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
Mayor Raths, what is your goal?
Well, as
Iran, especially for Iranian community.
Well, I'm so tight with the community right now in my city and with the in Irvine. Every year in Nowruz ceremony, they have a big party in Irvine at Barber Park, and there's 4,000 or 5,000 Persian Iranians, and I just got to know them very well, and I just want to do whatever I can to help them. If, like you said, if they have family over there, they're trying to get them to America, trying to get people over here. I'll do my best as a congressman to ensure that we can do that. And you know me now, you know how to find me, and I'll come back.
This is very important question for people. What is your job if you get this position?
I will be a lawmaker. In the United States, there's 435 congressmen that represents the whole United States. I will be that one representative that represents South Orange County in Washington, D.C. I will be making the law. We will be voting on the law. We vote on the budget. so we know where to bring the money to bring money to Orange County. We vote on the military, ensure that our military is strong. We ensure that our allies around the world are strong. The number one job of the federal government is national security. Keep the country secure. Secure the borders, which our president's working on right now. Ensure that people that immigrate legally. And the country's very welcome to all the world to come to the United States. There's plenty of jobs right now. Unemployment's at an all-time low, so we need people to come to the country, but they have to do it legally. You know, there's a way to do it legally, as I'm sure you went through when you came here in 70. I think you said you came here in 78.
Yes.
And there's a way you do it. You know, luckily, I was born here, so I was an American citizen to start with, but I would like to help the Filipino community, for instance. They're very good in these senior living homes, helping the elderly, and we can't find enough American citizens to work at these homes because it's tough working with the older people. And the Filipino community is really good at that. So I want to help all the different communities in my district, the 45th Congressional District, Hispanic community, and the Asian community is real big too, to ensure, you know, their quality of life remains positive, and that's what I aim to do.
What is your goal and what are you trying to do in general for the full community? What is your schedule? What is your program?
Well, this is what bothers me about the federal government.
Okay.
That I took care of in my city is the budget is they overspend more money than they bring in. Okay, like $1 trillion.
This is your statute.
Now, this is the federal government. The budget of the federal government, say $4 trillion. But they only bring in $3 trillion, so I want to get the budget under control. The federal government, and I'll be working at the federal government, they're too generous to all these programs, education, energy, you know, all these programs they weren't supposed to be a part of. The federal government has one thing in mind, and that is to national security of the country, maintain our rights, maintain our liberties. That's what the federal government is supposed to do. They're not supposed to be in education. They're not supposed to be in commerce. They're not supposed to be in all these different other areas. So I would like to see the budget reduced to the point where what we bring in, we spend like I did in Mission Viejo. So that's number one. Get the budget under control.
Okay, let's see one of your clips that you already have.
Yeah, I have my first clip here is, it's called My Last Mission, 66. So what I want to continue to serve, and this will be my last mission. If you can run that clip, it's about a 60-second clip.
Okay.
I moved to Orange County in 1978 as a young first lieutenant in the Marine Corps. It was beautiful then, just as it is now. As a jet fighter pilot, I traveled around the world, the Middle East, Australia, the Far East, South America, and Europe. I saw my share of combat. 300 plus carrier landings and 75 combat missions will make you long for solid ground and coming home. In Washington, I've seen how a political crisis like an impeachment can put the country on shaky ground, threatening our unity and our national security. But I've also seen how getting involved can make a difference. As Mayor of Mission Viejo, my mission has been to make this great place even better, and I did. Today, my children are having children, and I want them to grow up in a safe environment. As your representative for California's 45th Congressional District, my last mission would be to keep Orange County secure and prosperous for all of our families. I am Greg Raths, and I approve this message.
Yes, as you see, Mr. Greg Raths, or Mayor Greg Raths, he's a candidate for the Congress District 45th. Therefore, it's very important for Iranian community to give him vote because he's one of the American that he really cares about all minorities, yes, which is very important. Some people, they don't care, but some people, they do, like Mr. Raths. So we're proud of him. We congratulate him for being with Iranian for many years, especially he was in Tehran, Iran in 1978, and he should knows about Iranian culture, Iranian food.
Yes.
What kind of food you like?
Well, I don't know if this is Iranian or not, but I eat kibbeh and grape leaves.
Okay.
Grape leaves?
Which part of Iran you were in?
Just up north of Tehran. There was a big military base. The U.S. government would train Iranian pilots back in the 70s, when the Shah was there. So, but it was just such a beautiful country. And you said minority. I don't use that term. We're all equal.
That's
We're all equal.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
What is your view for green energy?
Here's green energy. I am an environmentalist, believe it or not. Republicans tend not to be the environmentalists, but when you came here in '78, remember the smog would just hang over the cities, and it was not good. And
Mr. Ardalan lived at 78.
What's that?
He lived.
I know, but he came here in '78. He came here to '78, and the smog was bad, but now the air is really clean compared to where it used to be. So
still we need to be more
right, but we just continue to work. I personally am an environmentalist. I have solar panels on my roof. I have double pane windows to keep my house secure.
And you're driving Tesla?
I know. I do have a hybrid.
Advertising for Tesla.
I would drive Tesla. I don't have the money.
Because
Give me some.
He got money
Does he have
from
a Tesla?
Tesla. No, because his wife and his son, they drive Tesla.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he has some contract behind the
Not contract.
behind
I'm
the
helping
wall.
the environment.
So
Well, if he bought stock in Tesla
Yes.
2 years ago, he'd be a multimillionaire right now.
Exactly.
But no, the environment's very important to me,
It's true.
you know, and I just want to continue. I have a swimming pool. We have a low flow pump. I'm very environmental friendly,
Right.
and I sit on the environmental committee for SCAG, which is Southern California Association of Government. I'm on the environmental and energy committee.
That's great.
For Orange County, and I sit as a vice chairman of the Veterans Advisory Council for the Board of Supervisors for the Orange County Board of Supervisors. I'm the vice chairman, so we handle all the veterans in the
You're
district.
so active.
Very active.
Yes.
I sit on my HOA too. I'm an HOA member.
Okay.
Actually, I missed my ALB meeting for this.
right.
I'm sorry.
let's see
You want
another
to-
clip because we don't have enough time.
All right, we'll throw one more
So
clip.
Better show it.
Does it have sound? Can they hear the sound?
Of course.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Greg Raths, and I'm running for California's 45th Congressional District. As a decorated combat fighter pilot, Chief of Staff of the White House Military Office, or Mayor of Mission Viejo, service has always been a big part of my life. My wife and I raised our children here, and keeping Orange County safe and prosperous is my top priority. And that takes experienced and responsible leadership. As your representative, I'll ensure that Orange County remains a great place to live and raise your family. You have my word. Hi, I'm
Of
Greg
course, Dr. Hooman, a good question regarding the.
Go ahead.
Yes, one of the biggest issues that we've been dealing with in both counties of Los Angeles and in Orange County, that Los Angeles still seems to have a lot of it, but Orange County, I personally myself remember, I used to go to the courthouse and they were all sitting, all these homeless, and now it's all gone. What is it in Orange County that has resolved it?
So we're talking the homeless issue.
Yes, homeless.
Really?
Yeah.
It changed
It's-
that fast?
yeah.
They're all removed.
And along
Orange
the
County.
yeah, and along the riverbank by Anaheim Stadium, they're all gone. It took about 2
By the
years.
Santa Ana courthouse?
Yes, the courthouse is
All
all
gone.
gone. What I do in my city when I was mayor, we have no homeless in Mission Viejo. What I did, you get as the mayor, and this is a local issue, and I blame Garcetti, who has LA. You have to nip it early in the bud.
But he couldn't be success for this matter.
What's that?
He couldn't be success, Mayor Garcetti. No, he could not.
No, I don't know what
It's
he.
really getting worse and worse in
Yeah,
the city
getting
of Los
day by
Angeles.
day.
At least put some porta potties up or something, but it's terrible. So what I do in Mission Viejo, so we have one officer, we use the Orange County deputies, we have one officer who looks around for homeless. If there's a homeless, we marry up with Mercy House, it's a nonprofit. So it doesn't cost the city any money. And they have a couple homes in our city, and we'll take that homeless person to that house. And there's counselors in there, there's people, if they're a veteran, we don't know where to take the veteran. If it's a mental problem, we have a mental hospital in our city. And so we attack it every day. And that's what happens. Before you get all these encampments, it's almost too late. And I don't know how they're going to handle it in Los Angeles. But to answer your question, what we did in Orange County is they had all these homeless along the riverbank, and
Yes.
and the sheriffs went in. There was a federal judge who worked with us to get some hotel rooms for them, and it's still an ongoing process. But this is a local issue with each of the mayors of each of the cities, and they need to take care of it. It's not a federal issue, it's not a state issue, it's a city issue.
Okay, let's see
one more
another
clip.
clips.
Here we go. We should have our last clip.
We should have another one.
For United States Congress for California's 45th Congressional District. As mayor of Mission Viejo and president of a local company, I worked hard to keep Orange County safe and prosperous. That's why I'm against illegal immigration. It lowers wages, burdens our social services, increases taxes. No wonder so many people are leaving California. We deserve better. We can do better, and we will.
Beautiful.
Okay,
Very
the
nice.
question of immigration.
Yes.
What is your view about the wall, the President Trump? What is your view? I mean, how do you see it? And then another question for the workers that they work for, say, 10 years, 15 years without any permit, without any green card,
Where they have fake IDs.
or they have fake
They have
IDs.
fake driver's license, fake social security number,
Exactly.
fake, that's what they use.
What is your plan, and
Well,
what
let's
are
talk,
you trying to?
okay, let's talk about the wall.
Yes.
Everyone looks at the wall as to keep the South Americans, Central Americans, Mexicans from coming in.
Yes.
But that's one reason, but it's the drugs too. Illegal drugs come through the border, and they're looking for an opening along the border to bring in the drugs. And then those that traffic young girls, the traffickers. So the wall it's effective. And it's also along the wall where the wall has been built, the environment has gotten better because people aren't trampling back and forth. So it's starting to grow back. So the wall, although it's very controversial, the Democrats, the more the progressives don't like a wall because it's kind of like the Berlin Wall, but it's not to keep people from leaving, it's to keep people from coming in. So I think the wall in certain areas is very effective. In San Diego, it's very effective. And as far as immigration, illegal immigration, there's certain jobs in our country, in agriculture per se, that work the fields. And I know the president's working on this, is let them come in with work permits legally. And they don't have to become citizens. They can have a work permit, work the fields, do their thing, go back to Mexico, go back to Honduras or wherever for when the crops don't need to be picked, then they come back. That's the way it used to be when I grew up in Arizona. We called them migrant workers. They'd come over, pick the fruit. Once they cancel that program, I think it's the Bolero program or Bolaris program, once they cancel that program, then people start sneaking across and getting fake. So I think what we need to do is go back to that system, and I know President Trump is working on that, to go back to that system, let people come in, and those that are already here now, we can work with them on giving them work permits and getting them legal identifications and stuff and get them work permits, and then they can go back and forth, and then they can work, get at the end of the line, and then work on citizenship, at some point,
Yeah. There are visas for agricultural
Right.
farmers work, and they can easily apply for it,
Right.
show their proof that they can actually do the job, and they can come here legally.
They're not a burden on society.
That's right, exactly.
And there's
it should
such
not be a charge to society.
Yes.
How about
There's
those-
a big underground movement in California
Yes.
where they get them all these fake IDs, and it puts a lot of stress on the schools, on the medical
Exactly.
facilities.
Like they
everything
have
else.
parents, they have kids. The
Yes,
kids, they
them-
are 7, 8,
Right.
10 years old, 15 years old. They are going to school.
Right.
But their parents, they don't have any green card. They don't have any paper.
Well,
What's going to be the solution for these?
it's going to be, I would set up some type of judicial system where it'd be a one-by-one. You come in, you explain everything you've done, you haven't been in trouble, say you've been in trouble with the law, you're out. Say you've been obeying the law, then it's a one-by-one. Look at each person individually, what they've done.
I got you.
And then determine one by one what you're going to do. And it's going to be a long process, but that's the only way I can see working.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you see, this program is belong to Mayor Greg Raths, interviewing regarding he's a candidate for Congress District 45th, which is very important for OC population, because mostly city of OC which cover 45th district is belong to Iranian community, because mostly they live in those city. Therefore, I'm sure if you give vote to Mr. or Mayor Raths, I'm sure in the future it's going to be very important for Iranian community and also for Mayor Raths, because this is going to be very important solution for solving the problem for all minority, which the Iranian is one of them.
Correct.
Okay.
With your background, Mayor, we are really counting on you, and we wish you best of luck.
Thank
because
you.
you have a very good
A military background, I got a political background.
And you do have a very good chance.
And we will vote for you.
Well, thank you.
We will.
Ballots are in the mail.
So
Thank
you for coming.
Wish you best of
Thank
luck.
you very much.
I'm sure we're going to have an interview in the future.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Once I win the primary on March 3rd, I'll be back. The general election will be November.
So for sure you're going to be here, and you're more than welcome.
It will be our pleasure to have you.
Thank you. خب خانم ها و آقایان، با تشکر فراوان از اینکه ناظر این برنامه بودید و امیدوارم که حتما در این رأیگیری شرکت کنید که بعدها حتما من و مهندس اردلان راجع به این مسئله بیشتر صحبت خواهیم کرد، چرا که دادن رأی به آقای رد میتونه بسیار بسیار برای جامعه ایرانی مهم باشه. به امید روزهای بهتر و آینده روشن‌تر.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.